this one here, there's three forms here actually, the early stage of the natural ash, and it's just how that's developed as it's grown, the shape of it. This is it in its sort of next stage, where it's not yet finalised and lacquered or oiled as the case might be. And this one here is something which I took great delight in playing with pretty much throughout my whole career of shinty. But the silver mounted stick is the one element in the sport which actually every player would aspire to achieving and securing a silver mounted stick as the captain of their team and a winning captain of a trophy, which could be the Celtic Cup in the south or the MacTavish in the north, or primarily our main trophy of our sport, the Camera Cup. I think shinty is fundamental to this area, and in all that goes on there's shinty played in the entire community here, and it's actually played from school to senior levels throughout the community, so it's fundamentally important to the welfare of the community, the welfare of those that play the game, the families that are associated with it, and everything that goes on really. It's shinty.
Well, shinty was very important throughout the Highlands in the early days. The game was sort of a clan exercise, a clan against clan, getting ready for battle. I think it was for the young men to keep fit, and then further down the line, it became strong in some areas and sort of died out in some areas. Badenoch it's always remained, shinty's always remained very strong in the Badenoch area. Well, I met my husband through shinty. If it wasn't for shinty, I probably wouldn't have met and married him. But that was 47 years ago. So it was very important. Hughie was in the first team then, and our life really revolved around shinty. Shinty came first. The Saturday game was very, very important. And my children grew up, you know, going off to shinty matches, and we enjoyed it very much. It was part of the year, sort of your plan for the year. And we were very lucky at that point when Newtonmore was very, very successful in the 70s and early 80s, that you could almost sort of put in the diary, yes, you would be going to this final or that final. And it was a great day out, great family day out.
Shinty, to us growing up, to me anyway, was, it's like around these parts it's like a religion. You know, when you grow up, you don't want to be a footballer, you don't want to do this, that and that, you just want to play for your main shinty team. And I was exactly the same. You know, my boys playing for the primary team, once they get past that primary age, they will then have a decision to make, because we can't take them any further, because we're only a primary age shinty team. They have a decision to make whether they go to Kingussie or Newtonmore, and that attraction will always be there. You know, we can only take them so far, and then the bright lights, shall we say, of the bigger teams will entice them in, you know, because they've got the opportunity, they've got the name, they've got the history. That's who they want to play for us.
You know, shinty was talked about round the table, and you were encouraged to participate as much as possible. But it's something I wanted to do anyway, so it wasn't an issue. So yes, I was always going to be steeped in shinty. It's great to see him progressing, and he's a much better player than I was. He's much more disciplined, and he's much more hard but fair. So that is satisfying, and it's great to see young players being able to, you know, as a group. There's a good group of young players in Newtonmore there now that can play hard but fair. Obviously, Father was he was a great character, and his knowledge of the people and shinty and history, you know, was quite remarkable. And yeah, he could certainly recount stories from you know, wonderful memory from his young days. So yeah, many happy memories there.
I think the core, you know, the core of your first team now, they've all got Shinty connections, family connections, fathers, uncles, cousins, and I think it's still very much part of the heritage of the village. As time's gone on, we're seeing a few young guys that have came to the area later in life, and no, it doesn't mean as much to them, but the guys that are born and brought up in the village, it's 3-4 year old, you get handed a club. So I think it's still as important to all these guys, and our team today, if you look around the team, the guys that are there, very much Shinty families.
The aim of Shinty Memories as a project is essentially to support those suffering and living with dementia and Alzheimer's. We do have quite a number in our community here, which is not commonly known, but we're aware of that, and what we're doing is to try and support them in the Memories project using our Shinty photography, our artefacts, and even the filming that we're actually about to produce or are producing at the present moment to use in the cafes and in support of those with dementia.